And gentlemen, welcome to the 12th annual Hecker, Dan, and Friends Super Bowl extravaganza preview show that none of you ever asked for. It is, once again, as always, rest in peace, Jimmy Goodhart. We know that you're on this podcast in spirit, making it way funnier than it has any business being. But without further ado, Super Bowl 60 is here. It's a full circle moment for us, Dan. We've been doing this shit for 12 years.
I can't believe
we
it.
started the first one of these we did. I believe we did it in our living room in my living room in my apartment in Millville. It was me, you, and Jimmy. I think we had like a cardboard box that was like our table. We come quite a long way. We have a beautiful desk now that you can see here.
I feel like I could play the intro to Hot for Teacher on this thing.
Yep, we got the ring light. We're all professional now. We got video and not just like some choppy SoundCloud audio that was recorded in your mother's basement. But the first one of these we did, it was the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. And now here we are 12 years later. Once again, Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots.
And the crowd goes mild.
Yep, the crowd goes mild. I believe since we've started this is the third or fourth time that we've had a repeat matchup of the Super Bowl within that time period.
Yeah, I think they're not the guys that rigged the league aren't even trying anymore.
Yeah. The script writers getting super uncreative at this point. But it didn't take fucking long. The New England Patriots back in the Super Bowl, which is fitting because Israel runs the world. The Patriots are back, and then we got the Seahawks with our boy smoking Sam Darnold. If you would have told me in 2018 that in 7 years or so that Sam Darnold would be playing in the Super Bowl, I would have assumed that things went pretty well for us, but obviously that could not be farther for the case. But what would you say is your favorite moment of this past football season?
Mike Tomlin quitting.
Mike Tomlin's quit firing. Yeah. I had a feeling that might be on your list. So I know you probably think this move has come too late, but just how late is it in your, how many years too late is it?
I mean, I would say I wish he would have left before the whole Pickett thing, because that was really stupid, because Pickett stinks.
Pickett does stink.
Taking him in the first round was a huge disaster.
Taking him in the first round was extremely stupid. I don't know if that was a Mike Tomlin call, or I'm sure he signed off on it at the very least. But it does seem like, and I don't think there's any chance the Steelers would have done that if he hadn't gone to Pitt and had the connection with the area already. It just seems like they do that too often, that they tap into the either nostalgia or the the sentimental factor of a local person when they make their drafting decisions.
Well, you see more Rocky and Franco and Bradshaw jerseys than you do anybody else.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, and Pickett. Between Pickett, what's his name? Joey Porter Jr. Was who I was thinking about, because he went to. It seems like they like drafting people that either went to Pitt or Penn State. Or have
he
some
went to
sort
my
of
high school too.
Or have some sort of connection with the area, as you said. But yeah, I would say, yeah, for Tomlin, I mean, yeah, it was definitely a long time coming. I think it was definitely time. Yeah, maybe this should have happened. Maybe this should have happened for the Steelers. Yeah, probably a couple of years earlier, but yeah, around the Pickett time, or maybe a little bit after the Pickett time. It probably should have been. It probably should have been Jover for Mike. He can go on his merry way to Newcastle to be a family man, which he'll probably do that for like a year, and then once he gets sick of his second family even more than his first family, I would probably expect him to get back into coaching on the coaching scene in 2027. Sure, there will be teams that would definitely be in the market for his services. Steelers could probably get like a first-round pick in exchange because they still have the rights to his contract. What are your thoughts on the Mike McCarthy hiring?
I mean, he's basically white Tomlin.
Yeah, he's white Tomlin. He's offensive. He's offensive-minded Tomlin. So maybe the offense will be a little more like, I think, I don't think Mike McCarthy, obviously he's not like this young, innovative coach or anything. He's like 62 years old at least. He was, there's like, I think I saw that AI picture of him where he was like drinking Yingling at some Yinzer bar. It's like, that's probably like what he should just actually be doing. But, I mean, he's got the connection with Rodgers. So if he's coming back, then Rodgers doesn't have to learn a new offense. Rodgers did already get him fired once, so maybe he can get him fired again if, depending how things go. Probably not, though. The Steelers will probably let McCarthy coach until he croaks. But yeah, I mean, I think at least the offense will be more aggressive than it's been for the Steelers, because I feel like they've been.
Yeah, Arthur Smith was a terrible.
Extremely, yeah. Arthur Smith, obviously Matt Canada, the other Mike Sullivan, whatever other OCs they've had over the years under Tomlin. Todd
Haley.
Yeah, Todd Haley. Well, that's going back.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, a lot of those guys are like, pretty behind on the times, and not really,
or just completely insane like Todd Haley.
Yeah, or just batshit crazy like Todd Haley. Actually, funny story about Todd Haley. So he became the Steelers OC after he got fired as the Chiefs head coach.
Yeah.
So I was at the game where that got him fired, because he got fired like the next day, but. It was a Jets-Chiefs game at MetLife Stadium in 2011. The Jets were 7-5 going in this game. Chiefs had won like, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 games on the year. And it was right before so this was the game that got him fired. I don't know, like John Boyce, like Secret Base, those like videos on YouTube. Oh, okay. Well, Secret Base did this video about this drive where the New York Jets had a 95-yard drive for a touchdown. However, about 90 of those yards were in penalties. I think they gained 5 actual yards on this drive. Because, like, I don't know, basically Sanchez kept throwing incompletions. And I think the Jets even had a few penalties that, like, brought themselves back a few times. So there was like 120 penalty yards on this drive. But long story short, eventually the Jets punch it in. They win that game pretty dominantly. Like I forget, it was like 38-14 or something like that. They beat the shit out of the Chiefs. They improved to 8-5 on the season. Ends up being the last game that they win that year, and that was like the first. That was the first time they've missed the playoffs since since the AFC, since the back-to-back AFC title game. So that was their first year missing the playoffs of what would begin a now 15-year and counting playoff drought. But that drive and that game kind of altered the course of football history because basically they fired Todd Haley the next day. Romeo Crennel takes over as interim coach. I think they finished with like 4 wins or something like that. Like Romeo Crennel actually won a couple games. But then they hire Andy Reid. Then a couple of years after that, they draft Patrick Mahomes. And the rest is history there. And then, the Jets went on to lose every single game for the rest of that season. And, they just never really recovered. But and then on the train ride home, I ripped one of the largest farts of my entire life. And this little kid on the train was like laughing to her mom, and her mom was like all mad. These are all things I've been told. But simpler times, I guess. But just a little tidbit there about Todd Haley, and then he became the Steelers OC. But pretty much under Tomlin, their offenses have been pretty conservative for the most part. So maybe McCarthy can be somewhat of a breath of fresh air, but kind of like that. It's fresh air, but there's still like chemtrails in it. So, we'll see what happens. But, it's kind of a lateral move. And, you can probably expect a lot more of the same mediocrity. If you run it back with Rodgers, probably going to be looking at the same result where you win 9 or 10 games, either just miss the playoffs or make the playoffs, lose in the first round, rinse and repeat. But as for my favorite moment of this NFL season, that's a pretty difficult question to answer. There's really been very, very few enjoyable moments or memories from this NFL season. But for me, I mean, I did enjoy watching Rodgers' downfall in the playoffs against the Texans. Aside from that, I don't know. I guess it was pretty cool when Breece Hall threw a touchdown pass for the Jets to win their first game of the season right before Halloween on the day that Nick Mangold passed away. I think we all knew the season was over already at that point. I mean, we were 0-7. But and then after that they made the trades that they made, but and they ended up winning one too many games because they ended up with the second pick in the draft in a 1-quarterback class draft. Another one of those games that altered the course of history was the game between the Jets and the Falcons. I don't know if you remember when we were hanging out on Thanksgiving and I was walking my dog.
Yeah.
We were walking my dog and that guy gave her a treat. And then, I was wearing my Jets jersey and he's like, "Oh, who are they playing?" I was like, "Oh, they're playing the Falcons. They're probably going to end up winning." And then they ended up winning. It was a weird game, but kind of altered the course of history because the Falcons missed the playoffs by a game and ended up firing their coach. And the Jets finished all the worst teams in the league all finished with 3 wins, but the Jets lost the strength of schedule tiebreaker to the Raiders. So, if had the Jets lost that, had the result of that game been flipped, the Falcons go to the playoffs. They probably get bounced in the first round, but they probably don't fire their coach. And for the Jets, they would have gotten the first-round pick and, probably Fernando Mendoza and a shot at a franchise quarterback. But alas, the struggle continues, and I guess it's next year or never for the Jets to take another swing and getting a quarterback. But as for this year, we'll probably end up dealing with Kyler Murray. Hopefully, there is a Call of Duty video game coming out to distract him so that we lose as many games as possible and have as high a pick as possible. Because we're already ready to punt on next year's Jets fans. It's all about 2027 at this point and beyond.
You've never sounded more like a Pirates fan, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of parallels with the Jets and the Pirates. It all kind of boils down to bad ownership. Both Bob Nutting and Woody Johnson are just terrible in their own ways. Whether it's like Bob Nutting is cheap like 24/7. Woody Johnson is cheap like half the time, but he's like very I don't know. He when he does spend money, he spends it very stupidly.
Yeah.
And when he doesn't, it's also stupid because it's like, oh, okay, like you're cheaping out on, like right now he's like cheaping out on like helping Aaron Glenn like hire a new coaching staff, even though Aaron Glenn just fired like basically his entire coaching staff after 1 year because of how bad the team was. And it's got people questioning whether or not he deserved to keep his job, which I think is certainly a valid question to ask, and we'll see what happens. But it seems like he's already a dead man walking, like going into next year, and that we're probably going to be like hiring a new coach after next year. So maybe him cheaping out on the coaching staff is a blessing in disguise in that sense. But yeah, there are other times where he gets real cheap and like real weird about it. But yeah, both just terrible, inept owners, and yeah, years of ineptitude will get you Jets and Pirates like results of just hodgepodges of nothingness, I guess. Anyway, let's talk about happier things. Let's talk about the Super Bowl 60. Slightly happier things. So, what are you like looking forward to about the Super Bowl?
The commercials.
The commercials.
Yeah.
Who do you think will have the best one?
Apple might do something interesting for once.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do something to cover up. Oh well, never mind. I'm thinking about Bill Gates, who's in the Epstein files. Yeah. I mean, Steve Jobs is probably in that shit too. Half the fucking owners in the NFL are in that shit. Yeah. The aforementioned Woody Johnson, his name appeared multiple times in the files, as well as the Giants owner, one of the Giants co-owners, Steve Tisch. Apparently, the big bombshell as far as the NFL goes is that Steve Tisch was in the Epstein files, and apparently he had Jeffrey Epstein like scout women for him, which Steve Tisch claims they were adult women and that they also talked about investments and philanthropy.
Sounds story.
Yeah, sounds very believable. But yeah, hopefully there's some decent commercials in this one. Maybe Drink Schlitzer will kill you, bring a comeback, or unalive you. Sorry, YouTube. Yeah, we are putting this on YouTube, so you can't say shit like that. But it was out of context, all right. But I'm sure Doritos will do something cool. Yeah, Apple will probably do something to, distract from the Epstein files, and Microsoft will probably do something crazy too. I'm sure there's gonna be some cool like movie previews. I'm trying to think like what movies are supposed to come out this year that might have like good previews at the halftime show. Can you think of any?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot of shitty movies lately. Or like the good movies aren't necessarily I feel like the good movies aren't necessarily advertised at the Super Bowl. For Super Bowl commercials. Like I feel like most of the movie Super Bowl commercials are like for like Avengers and like dumb shit like that. Like I don't know. No offense if like you're into Marvel movies, but it's just not my thing. You're also a dweeb. Yeah. What else? Pepsi usually. I think last time the Seahawks and Patriots played each other, Pepsi had like this really trippy commercial. It was like, oh, like, you know, is this like, did I drink soda or did I eat mushrooms? Was there mushrooms in the soda? Like, what's going on here?
You would think Coke would be the one with the drugs in it.
Yeah.
At least historically.
Yeah. Well, they've been, much like the Germans after World War II, I feel like that's like a part of their history they're trying to like erase and forget. Like, we do not talk here about when we actually had cocaine in our soda. We don't discuss those times.
Isn't that what original Four Loko had in
it? Cocaine?
Yeah. I'm talking original.
Original? Like what year original Four Loko?
Before my time.
Are we discussing? Before your time? Like,
yeah. I don't know, like early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s. Okay, that's a little bit before my time too.
Yeah.
That I don't know about. I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, whatever was in like the Four Loko in like 2010 or like the late 2000s, like early 2010s.
Yeah. I was drinking 2 of them a night and going to work.
That's insane.
I know.
That wasn't when you lived in Detroit?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that was when you lived in Detroit?
Yeah.
That checks out. What was working on 2 Four Lokos every day like?
I was the top producer in my group. So it was helping me, I guess.
That's insane. Do you think did any of your coworkers have any idea that you were like drunk on Four Lokos while you were working?
Yeah, the guy that would give me rides to work, we're still friends, and I still text him.
Oh, shout outs to him.
Yeah, his name's Matt Butterfield.
Matt Butterfield. Is he a Lions fan?
Yeah.
Word. Suffering Detroit sports fan.
Yeah. The one night I was like, Matt, I gotta tell you something. And he's like, what is it, you fucking alcoholic? And I was like, he's like, oh, you mean the fact that you're drunk? You piece of shit.
Like, I knew you drank every day. I didn't know you were doing it on the clock.
No, I wasn't doing it on the clock.
Well,
I was just going in fucking hammered.
You're just going hammered.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first Four Loko, like late 2000s, early 2010s Four Loko was a movie. Like,
yeah,
whoever brought the Four Lokos to the party, like, you were probably gonna have to like call their parents, like pick them up at some point, if not an ambulance. Especially if it was like somebody that didn't really drink a lot, like someone that was like a lightweight. It's like, oh god,
what a Freudian slip that was.
We don't do Freudian slips here. What else is there to discuss about the Super Bowl? I guess we can talk a little bit about the actual game. The Patriots basically took, I mean, not taking anything away from them, but kind of taking anything away from them. They basically took the easiest possible path to a Super Bowl appearance that I've maybe ever seen. I mean, like week 1, they played the Raiders, and they actually lost that game. Week 2, they played the Dolphins, who fired their coach. Week 3, they played the Steelers, and they lost, but that team fired their coach. I forget.
Fired them straight to Newcastle.
Yeah, yeah. They played. Yeah, they played a team, and they played a team and lost to a team that, the coach was, had affairs in Newcastle to attend to. So do with that.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Please don't sue us. Like, it's the last thing we need. Please don't fucking sue. Yeah, they played a bunch of other teams. Like they played like the Bengals, who should have fired their coach. I think they played the Browns, who fired their coach. I think they played the whole AFC North, who fired their coach, basically, with the exception of the Bengals, who should have. They played obviously the teams in their division, which two of those teams fired their coach. One of the other one probably should have. And that team that didn't fire their coach was the Jets. So obviously, pretty that's a pretty easy win there. They played the Giants. They fired their coach. They played who else did they play? They played I believe the NFC South. Like half of those teams probably should have fired their coach. And yeah, so they played a bunch of shitty teams. Then in the playoffs, they got to, then in the playoffs, they open up at home against the Chargers, the playoff Justin Herbert. So that's an easy win. Then it somehow got even easier when they faced C.J. Stroud the next week, although their Texans defense kind of kept them slightly in that game. Maybe longer than they had any business being in it. And then they got to face Jarrett Stidham. The Jarrett Stidham led Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship game because Bo Nix somehow broke his ankle. On like the last play or second to last play of that game against the Bills. Yeah, they got to the Super Bowl. It was pretty easy. Now they play the Seahawks, who I would say the Seahawks are probably the best team in the NFL. And they've probably been the best team in the NFL for at least like the last month and a half now. I mean, they ever since they beat the Rams in that regular season game, it feels like they've just been. It feels like ever since that game, that Thursday night game where they beat the Rams, they've just been clicking. They have probably, if the Texans are the best defense in the league, the Broncos are probably the second best defense in the league. But Seahawks are probably like top 3 to top 5 defense in the league. Mike McDonald is probably one of the best defensive coaches in the league. Jackson Smith-Njigba is the probably the best receiver in the league. You may have been onto something with that Puka Nacua MVP prediction, but and I was going to say he'll probably win Offensive Player of the Year, but I think it's going to end up being Jackson Smith-Njigba that wins Offensive Player of the Year. And
he never should have went on a podcast.
Yeah. Ever since Puka Nacua went on, Aiden Ross or whatever the fuck his name is. And then the man of the hour, Sam Darnold, kind of leading the charge. He played the best game of his life in the NFC Championship game. He had like 350 passing yards, a few touchdowns. And there were a few times where, like you thought the Seahawks were just going to try and like just run the ball on like a second or third and long and just milk clock, but they had him throwing the ball like on that last drive where they closed out the game pretty much. So the Rams kind of like ever since the Rams didn't get that fourth down conversion, like with like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, like they really didn't have a chance. And, a lot of that was due to Sam Darnold. And I mean, a lot of the success the Seahawks have had in general has been due to Sam Darnold. Like, he has a great team around him, but he's definitely not a passenger in this by any stretch of the imagination. As a fan of the team that drafted Sam Darnold, obviously very mixed feelings about this. I'm very happy for him. Because he's one of the more likable ex-Jets. Everyone that leaves the Jets likes to like talk shit about us or throw shade at us, but Sam Darnold is always just kind of, he's always just kind of owned it pretty much, and he's never really like badmouthed us. So I appreciate that, and I'm definitely rooting for him to take down Israel, to take down the massage parlor, and to take down Drake Maye. I don't actually hate Drake May, but I do hate Mike Vrabel and Robert Kraft and the Patriots as an entity. So yeah, it's up to you, Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I think it's up to Sam Darnold too, because Drake May is the loser, even though he's in the Super Bowl.
He's I saw something on Twitter that Drake may not be being faithful to his wife. It looked like he was like sending Snapchats to like some girl or something. I don't know. We'll have to do a little more investigation on that, but something to keep in mind. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this game, and like how do you see it going?
I just don't want the goddamn Patriots to win again.
Yeah,
we've seen enough of that for 5 lifetimes now.
For real, yeah, we've seen enough of it for 5 lifetimes and 1 lifetime. It's like it's like a reflection of real life. Like we went through like 5 historical events. Like we've went through like 5 lifetimes worth of historical events in our 1 lifetime, and yeah, same thing with like Patriots and Super Bowl appearances and wins. It's just like, and yeah, just their fans are so annoying, especially the ones that are like, oh, after 5 long years, we're back. It's like, oh, fuck yourselves. Fuck you. Yeah, Bad Bunny is playing the halftime show to own the libs.
Sure.
And yeah, I'm sure everyone will be real reasonable and real cool about it, just like they've been for the past few months since it was announced that the Mad Rabbit would be the Super Bowl entertainment. How do you feel about Bad Bunny wearing a dress and performing at the halftime show in Santa Clara, California?
I'm more of a fan of Green Day wearing dresses and playing music than him, but
yeah,
I'm surprised Bad Bunny wasn't at the Royal Rumble today.
Yeah,
he's wrestled before.
Are we? Yeah, true. I was gonna say, are we sure? Yeah, he was also in the new Happy Gilmore movie.
Yeah.
What were your? Did you see the new Happy Gilmore?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, it was bad, but it was like enjoyable. That's what I thought.
It was an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, it was like bad, but I didn't hate it. But I mean, like even in comparison to like the original Happy Gilmore, like I don't know, like that was a bad movie.
Yeah.
Like obviously the first one was like a million times better, and it's just like I don't know. I feel like those like late '90s, early 2000s comedies, like I feel like doing one of those today just doesn't hit the same. But I thought all things considered, I thought they did all right for a really bad movie. I thought they did all right. And Bad Bunny, I thought did a pretty. I thought Bad Bunny did a pretty decent job acting in that.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, are we sure Bad Bunny like wasn't in the crowd or something and we didn't just recognize him?
Maybe
at the Royal Rumble.
Maybe they had him coming out
we are
during the Women's Rumble.
Yeah, we're recording. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe that was the practice run for wearing a dress.
Sure.
Yeah, wear a dress in Saudi Arabia and make it out alive. Then yeah, ICE who.
Sure.
At that point, yeah, ICE will not be allegedly will not be conducting raids in the parking lot anymore. Although that was something they were reportedly planning on doing and apparently are backing off. But also, like maybe that's maybe that's a lie to try and catch people by surprise. So if you are going, just just be safe. Yeah, be safe and be ready to fuck some shit up if shit goes down.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest Bad Bunny fan either, and I'm not even really that big a Green Day fan.
Yeah.
But if it pisses off the libs, then I'm down with it. That's pretty much how I feel as far as the entertainment goes. I'm sure Facebook, I'm sure your aunt's Facebook page will be a fucking war zone during during the halftime show. So that'll probably be might be more exciting than the actual halftime entertainment. It's just what people in the PXI section are the PXI news section are going to be saying. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Trying to think. Anything else you wanted to touch on?
No, unless the thing I remember about the Seahawks, the last I remember is the Legion of Boom. So
yeah,
that was what, 12 years ago?
Yeah, that was pretty much 12 years ago. Like, I feel like after that second, because they won the one Super Bowl with the Legion of Boom, and then they got back, and we're probably going to win until Pete Carroll decided to throw the ball from inside the 1 yard line because, just
reasons.
Yeah, reasons. Legend has it Marshawn is still mad about that, but
I think we're all still mad about that.
Yeah, I'll die mad about that. But pretty much like a year or two after that, the Legion of Boom was pretty much the Legion of Done. But that was kind of the and they have like kind of a like their team now is built kind of similarly, I guess you could say. Their defense, like this Seahawks defense, is also really good. They do have a pretty good secondary. It's not the Legion of Boom, but they definitely have some good pieces in their secondary, and they're a pretty they're a pretty good defense. They're a pretty good defense top to bottom. Patriots also have a pretty good defense, but it's not as good. Drake Maye is like probably going to end up being the MVP runner-up to Matt Stafford, and he's kind of been what's been making that whole thing go. You got known woman abuser Stephon Diggs has been a help to Drake Maye, and it's very nice of the legal system to wait to make his court date after the Super Bowl so that he could play in it. Real fucking cool. And then they got like Hunter Henry, Demario Douglas. So they got they have some like okay weapons. Their running backs, depending they got Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson are their running backs. Depending who they decide they feel like using, they can be pretty good. But I just think that the Seahawks are a much better team than the Patriots. And I know last time I probably picked the Seahawks to win and probably regretted it. But I would actually be kind of surprised if the Patriots ended up winning the Super Bowl.
I hope you're right.
Yeah. Well, what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. I think it's going to suck. It's going to be defensive and nobody's going to be interested.
Yeah, so
it's going to end. It's going to be like 10-7.
So hammer the under. The over-under is 45.5. So gambling expert Dan Snyder here, owner of the Washington Football Commanders, is telling you to hammer the under. I think as far as the over-under goes, I think it'll come a little closer to that 45 total points. I think it'll be like Seahawks 24, Patriots 20. You said 10-7, so who do you think is going to win?
I think the Patriots are going to win, unfortunately.
Damn. Well, in a defensive game like that, who would be the with the Patriots winning, who would be your MVP?
Drake Maye.
Drake Maye?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Sam Darnold winning the Super Bowl MVP, but I also if you're looking for a sleeper pick, I do think Kenneth Walker could have a pretty big game in this, or Jackson Smith and Jigba. But Yeah, I have to go with Sam Darnold in this. Probably got to put money on Sam Darnold to win MVP, because if he does and I don't win money, and the quarterback that we drafted wins Super Bowl MVP for someone else, and I don't win money, being alive is just not going to be that enjoyable. If you're looking for like a defensive player, like a sleeper defensive player, I think Nick Amenwary, the safety of the Seahawks, I think he's someone to watch out for. He could wreak some havoc in the secondary and in the, even in like the, he's like a very versatile safety. He kind of does everything. I'm a day one fan of Nick Amenwary. He's a rookie. He's up for defensive rookie of the year, but probably not going to win it. But it'll probably be that guy from the Browns. Coin toss. Who do you think? Heads or tails? What would you?
Tails never fails.
Tails never fails. You heard it here first. So make sure you bet heads. Who do you think scores the first touchdown?
Seattle.
What player on Seattle? Smith and Jigba.
Kenneth Walker.
I'll go Stephon Diggs first touchdown. But the Seahawks win. What color will the Gatorade be?
Lime.
All right, I'm going orange Gatorade. Anything? Do you think there will be? Do you think a streaker will run on the field?
Yeah, they'll be pimping some website.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they'll probably be pimping like Elon Musk's new cryptocurrency or something to distract you from the fact that he was like begging to pull up to one of them parties.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we pretty much covered more or less everything. You got any final thoughts? Anything you want to add?
Fuck Belichick and Brady.
Fuck Belichick. Fuck Brady. Oh, it is so funny that Bill Belichick did not get into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. I don't know who decided not to vote for him, but whoever you are, shout outs to you. You're my hero. I'd love to have you on a podcast and discuss it sometime. So yeah, God bless you, whoever you are out there, and we'll catch you on the next one. Let's go Seahawks, Super Bowl 60, 12-year anniversary. Chris and Dan, peace out.
See ya.